Welcome to WSN's The Zone on Fox. Manny Melito, Jerry Mercado, and we had some action last Thursday night. It didn't count for anything, but it was a good measuring stick to see what the MCC was capable of doing against the GSL.
Yep, absolutely. Some nice Thursday night football. Let's have a look.
Bears traveling down to Lamson Stadium a week ago. Yep, last Thursday night. Nice return, opening kickoff return here for Caden Diaz. He'd have a majority of the yards for the Southridge Suns. Here, a little bit of trickeration from the Ferris Saxons to get in close to the end zone, and then they're just going to punch it on in there. That's Carstetter running the ball in. For the Suns, you know what it's going to be. It's going to be Caden Diaz, Mr. Diaz, the workhorse for the Suns all year long, and it was no different on this evening. And here's a long return by the Ferris Saxons. The Saxons, one of the premier programs in the state. They were in the state finals not too long ago. Not quite the same year this year, but still highly competitive. This one right here, you're going to see this touchdown run. That's a 37-yard run. Hicks into the end zone. And then Mr. Diaz, Caden Diaz, just a junior for Southridge. He'll be back next year, you better believe it. Caden Diaz, 31 carries, 175 yards, and 1 touchdown. Ferris over the Suns. The Suns 5-5 on the year. Looking to reload, though. They're young, they're youthful. Be back next year for sure. Up in Spokane, Hanford getting blanked by Central Valley. Not the way the Falcons wanted to end their season. Bright spot, Jalen Devine, 117 yards on 25 carries. Wouldn't get into the end zone. Central Valley just put a whooping on, 42-0.
All right, when we come back, we're going to be talking playoffs, games that matter between the MCC and the GSL. So stay tuned to WSN's The Zone on Fox. Welcome back to WSN's The Zone on Fox. Now we're sitting right here at Lamson Stadium. Hey, we saw a heck of a matchup, but not only that, we saw a rising star, Brett Rippon at quarterback for Shadle Park. Kennewick Lions, though, seemed like they did a good job tonight.
Yeah, a couple of huge stars, and Brett Rippon and Devin Ramos. Brett Rippon would strike first. They put together a nice 77-yard opening drive, capped it off with a touchdown. Extra point was good. A lot of passing through there. They ended up scoring by way of the run and the short run. But Kennewick, a nice opening drive for themselves.
Absolutely. Dylan Tenacourt finishing that one off by himself, diving across the goal line. The two-point conversion, no good. They don't really have a kicker, so they were running those two-point conversions a lot.
And it ended up benefiting later on because they were up by 9 at one point because they went for 2 and got it a few times. But Devin Ramos was something special tonight, especially running the ball. I mean, you look at tonight was like his own personal highlight tape, and you look at some of these runs. Yeah, he had a couple touchdowns. And Bodie Simpson also had a strong night tonight for Kennewick. Defensively, though, Preston Van Winkle,
yeah, absolutely,
at the nose tackle position, was able to get pressure on Brett Rippon. Also, Devin Ramos with a strong defensive play. You know, it's surprising to see because we talked about it before. He's not only a great runner, he's just an overall good football player.
Absolutely. Not only that, but it seemed like Coach Templeton opened up the playbook a little bit. You talked about Devin Ramos running the ball. How about him passing the ball, throwing to Caden Julian with a nice score there? Just the creativity that happened tonight was very good.
Yeah, it seems like they made great adjustments, especially after Shadle Park made that first touchdown. They were able to shut him down for a long time, and then Brett Rippon struck on 2 long pass plays. A lot of yards after the catch here, but some good play, and it got a little close, but Kennewick was able to come out with the victory in this one, and Dylan Tenacourt was able to pick off Brett Rippon, probably for some bragging rights there.
Yeah, absolutely. 38-20, the final score in that one. You got a chance to catch up to some players. Let's have a look at what they had to say.
Here with Coach Templeton after the playoff victory over Shadle Park. Coach, I know that there was probably some extra film study on a special quarterback that came in here from Shadle Park, Brett Rippon. Tell me your guys' thoughts on how you might defend him going into this game.
Well, I'll tell you what, he obviously is something. And I'm glad we don't play him again. He is and is going to be something real special, not only in the region, city, whatever, but in the whole state, maybe in the country. He's fun to watch. I'm glad that we're not going to have to go against him anymore. We needed to get some pressure on him, and as the game went on, we did that more so. And we needed to make a few plays in the defensive backfield, and we made enough to win.
Coach, you talk about special players and pressure even. Devin Ramos did it on both sides of the football. He provided some pressure on Brett Rippon, and he made some incredible runs behind some great blocking, too, for you guys in order to get this victory. Can you talk about that effort?
We always talk about big-time players make big plays in big games, and Devin, Bodie, some of our D linemen, Dylan made some really nice throws today, did a nice job with generalship and all that. But Devin's obviously a special player, and we're glad he's on our team.
Coach, what does this mean to you and your team?
God, just enjoying it. Some family issues, some different things. Early in the season, it was a struggle, and we've kind of hit a sweet spot, and we're just going to keep riding it. We don't feel like there's any pressure on us, anything like that, but we're enjoying it. The kids are enjoying the games. The coaches are passionate. It's a good gig right now, so we're just going to keep riding it.
Coach, some injuries. You had a couple guys get injured. Do you know the status on those yet?
No, we'll get evaluation from our trainer, and then I'm sure a couple of them will go to the doctor. We got about 8 days before we play again, and hopefully we can put some Band-Aids on them and get them back out there. But hopefully they're nothing too serious.
All right, Coach Templeton, congratulations.
Thanks, guys.
Here with Lions nose tackle Preston Van Winkle. Preston, a great game tonight. The Shadle Park scored on their initial drive. What adjustments did you guys make in order to be able to shut down their high-power passing attack?
That just got our fire going. It just sparked us, and we just got the tempo and just knew what we had to do.
Tell me what it feels like to be a part of the core group of Kennewick Lions and come out with a playoff victory.
It's great. we worked really hard all season, and it just came together really well tonight.
Just talk about the overall execution of your football team.
Yeah, like I said, we knew what we had to do. We came out and we executed. Everyone on the team just played their heart out and did what we needed to do.
Like we mentioned before, it's that GSL MCC crossover time of year. It's one of our favorite times of the year. Let's take a look at more action that happened around the crossover season.
The Chiawana Riverhawks up in Spokane taking on the Gonzaga Prep Bullpups. Joy Zamora would have a good night, going 15-29, 368 yards passing and 3 touchdowns. You can see a long pass here to Dre Dorton. Caught a number of passes from Zamora here on the long gain, close to the end zone there, and a little bit more Zamora facing this talented Gonzaga Prep team. He's going to air it out. Dorton, just part of 3 reception, 140-yard, 3 touchdown night for Dorton. Lozano going to get into the end zone there, but it would be all G Prep. Chiawana 28, Gonzaga Prep 55. Bouncing the Riverhawks out of the playoffs. Over at University, also in Spokane. This would be a game that go right down to the wire. Johnny Jansen, 18 carries, 105 yards, and a touchdown on the night. There you see him punch it in. Kyle Robertson, 19 carries. He did it on the ground, but also threw passes to Brandon Larson, who caught 3 passes and a touchdown. This one, we're going to see a late touchdown there by University. Now, this is a team, Kamaikan, that's won a couple of heartbreakers there. They get the field goal thinking they had a good chance, but same thing, make you laugh, make you cry. Here, desperation pass. One of the last plays from scrimmage. He's going to get into the end zone. That would seal the deal for University. 27-22 over Kamaikan, bouncing the Braves out of the playoffs. Some other action, Meade, Blank, Richland, Whitby, 127 yards passing. Garrett Marsh, 5 receptions, 42 yards for the Bombers. Mount Spokane, 28, Pasco 14. Luis Murillo, 20 carries, 132 yards rushing, bright spot for the Bulldogs. And then Walla Walla, the lone team to beat a GSL team, Jonaho, 33 carries, 139 yards, and a touchdown.
All right, so there you have it. There's all the action that went down in the MCC GSL. Let's have a look at this 3A bracket.
Quick peek into the bracket matchups for MCC and other Eastside teams, the Greater Spokane League. North Thurston at 8-2 out of the Tacoma Narrows, coming up to Kennewick, and O'Day travels to University in Spokane. Both games will be played this Saturday.
So when we come back, the Big Nine played their last week of games, and as we move forward into the playoffs, we'll have a look at them.
All right, welcome back. Eastmont battling for the lone 4A spot. That's it. That's left for the Big Nine. Let's have a look.
Eastmont would beat Moses Lake 28-21. Darren Hargrove 153 yards rushing and a touchdown. Eastmont advances in the 4A state playoffs. Wenatchee finishes out their season getting Sunnyside there big time, 48-6. Over at Zeffel Stadium, a night of records. Carlos Vajaro takes a long pass from Elias Montezuma. He's going to take it all the way, part of a 236-yard receiving night for Vajaro. That would be a Davis School record. Other records might be on the line here. This is Brandon Curtis. Long scamper there on the ground, getting things done to be a lot of Brandon Curtis. There you see him score the touchdown. He's going to take the handoff here and just go buck wild, beast mode into the end zone. Brandon Curtis. Elias Montezuma hooking up again with Carlos Vajaro. Second touchdown of the night for Vajaro. As senior, he's had a phenomenal, amazing year. And Eisenhower also doing some big things here. You're going to see a touchdown pass there, but the order of the night was ground game. Brandon Curtis, 488 yards. Are you kidding me? 4 touchdowns for this kid on 47 carries. Absolutely amazing. Davis putting up a fight there in the mud, trying to get it done, and Vajaro's just clowning on the side there with that catch. Brandon Curtis, though, a night to remember. New state record. Can you believe it? 488 yards on the ground. Eisenhower, as the clock ticks down, taking down crosstown rival Davis 34-13. What a special night in Yakima.
All right, so now let's take a look at the 4A bracket, Jerry. And you did a pretty good job with these two.
Yeah, let's have a look at the 4A bracket. I tell you what, let's have a look at the 4A bracket, and then let's look at the 3A bracket, and then later on in the show, I'm going to make my picks, Manny.
The 2012 3A state football bracket. It's colorful. You see all the helmets there. You're going to want to pay attention to the right side. Down there, you see a Kennewick helmet taking on North Thurston. Their next opponent would be either O'Day or University. And the bonus, if you call it that, is that they would not face Bellevue potentially until the state finals if that happens. So there's your 3A state football bracket.
All right, when we come back, we're going to have our final Big Nine Top 10 produced by Jerry Mercado. Plus, we're going to take a look at the brackets, and Jerry is going to pick which teams he thinks are going to win these games.
So welcome back, Manny. This is the Big Nine Top 10 finale.
All right.
Who will be numero uno?
I don't know why you keep asking me. You're the one who made the list.
Do you speak Spanish? Let's have a look.
Let's take a look at the WSN final top 10 players for the Big Nine 2012 edition. Elias Montezuma, A.C. Davis. This kid can flat out air it out. You see it right there. Leading passer in the Big Nine, 1,800 yards, 15 touchdowns, and he's coming back. Number 9, Trenton Osborne. 9 interceptions on the year. That's good enough for any top 10. Number 8, Brett Moser. One of the leading receivers in the Big Nine, 545 yards receiving on the year. Number 7, Ridge Harmon, 53 receptions, 864 yards for his 2012 campaign. Number 6, Joseph Contreras, excellent receiver, excellent DB. Number 5, Justin Simmons, second-rated passer in the Big Nine, 1,600 yards, 19 touchdowns. Brandon Curtis at number 4. Yeah, the record holder. 488 yards last week. Number 1 rusher in the Big Nine. Number 3, Carlos Vajaro. This kid has just done it. Just flat out done it. at number 2. Darren Hardgrove, the number 3 rusher, 1,300 yards, 14 touchdowns. But your number 1 is going to be Isaiah Brant Sims. Why? 20 touchdowns, 1,400 yards rushing, 21 receptions, 5 touchdowns receiving. Isaiah Brant Sims.
Isaiah Brant Sims.
Wow.
Manny, only a junior.
Deserving.
Coming back. He is WSN's Player of the Year for the Big Nine.
Absolutely, absolutely deserving. An excellent player indeed. Now you've really got to make your money here.
That's right.
The picks.
Yeah.
And it's not just teams that we've seen all year long where you're making the picks, and it really, you kind of struggled a little bit during the year. But so far in the playoffs, you've been 100%.
Yeah, well, you know what? At the beginning of the year, nobody could have predicted what happened. At the end of the year, it all kind of played out how I thought it would in terms of MCC and the Big Nine. But you know what? 100% in the 3A bracket. As we move to the 4A bracket, let's have a look at these and see how we do.
Now let's get into Jerry's picks, starting first with the 3A bracket. Kennedy facing off against Columbia River. Jerry likes Kennedy in that one. Mount Si, Glacier Peak, the nod to Mount Si. Nathan Hale out of the Metro League taking on Peninsula. Jerry likes the Seahawks from Peninsula. Ferndale Bellevue, Mark Bellevue. Kelso, Eastside Catholic gets the nod out of the Metro Conference. Marysville, Pilchuck facing off against Timberline. Timberline with the nod. North Thurston, Kennewick. Jerry picks the Lions and O'Day University. The O'Day Irish look to get the nod on that, so expect a second round matchup between Kennewick and O'Day should it fall the way our experts think it will go. Let's look at the 4A bracket and Jerry's picks there. Rogers and Federal Way. Federal Way very explosive. Jerry will take the Eagles there. Arlington and Camas. Jerry likes the Camas team there. And that one, Lake Stevens, Skyline. We'll take Skyline there. Roosevelt, Jackson. Give it to the Timberwolves from Jackson. Newport and Meade. Squaring off, this should be one of the best games in the 4A bracket so far. The nod to Newport. Dotson, quarterback there. They got a great team. Looks like they should advance. Auburn and Eastmont. The nod will go to the Trojans of Auburn. Bothell, Bellarmine, Prep. Bothell, the tradition there should be enough to get them over the top. And Union, Gonzaga Prep, that running attack of G Prep. Phenomenal. They're going to advance against Union. There are your bracket picks, and there are Jerry's picks for week 1 of the state brackets.
When we come back to WSN's The Zone on Fox, where are we going to be? You'll find out. Plus, we're going to take a look at some great plays that happened last weekend. So stay tuned to WSN's The Zone. Welcome back to WSN's The Zone on Fox. Manny Melito, Jerry Mercado. Our Twitter handles are right here. Plus, the website Twitter feed at WA Sports. A whole bunch of things that you can do with us on Washington Sports Network. You can go to the website, WashingtonSportsNetwork.com. We've got a Facebook page. We also have a radio show that we enjoy doing. I enjoy doing. Jerry's been absent a little bit. But News Talk 870, KFLD, 10:30 to 11:30 on Saturday mornings. Bring down all the action from the weekend. So that's cool. You get a nice little recap in the morning. Right?
Absolutely. I'd like to put a little bit of plug in here. For your 7th and 8th grade football players, I do have a tryout this Saturday for the Tri-City Elite. It'll be at 12 noon at the Kennewick practice field next to Lamson.
There you go. And then also, always be sure to join us every Thursday night, 10:35, right here on Fox, because we love to have you. So there you have it. Here's some plays. We love it.